Hello and welcome. You're watching 2024 with me, Shavan Sen, and Abhishek Kapoor.
All right, hi there. This is 2024, your go-to show for everything that's happening in the election campaign 2024. And we are going to get you 2 stories, 3 stories, 4 stories that matter the most today. Shavan.
Well, in fact, we start with that big story coming in from Sandesh Khali. Ladies and gentlemen, not the first time. This is yet another attempt that has been made by the Trinamool Congress government to try and cover up what's really happening on the ground. Fresh cases have emerged of attempts of molestation, and the Trinamool Congress has dubbed it as drama. Before we take you through the stories that are coming in right now, first, let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour.
Delhi CM Kejriwal's hypocrisy exposed day after AAP says will take action. CM spotted with assaulter Bibhav Kumar.
Gundaism by Aam Aadmi Party caught on camera. Republic's reporter blocked from questioning on assault gate.
Kejriwal refuses to comment on assault gate. Delhi Chief Minister slinks away.
Fresh assault in Sandesh Khali, rape victim kidnapped at gunpoint in a bid to cover up.
ED's big submission at Supreme Court says AAP will be named accused in Liquorgate. ED claims it has proof and money trail. कैमरा 2 में टीपी काम नहीं. Welcome back, friends. Story 1, in fact, is an outrightly communal comment made by Rahul Gandhi on the armed forces with possible demoralizing consequences. He has said that while the poor and the underprivileged might only get to be temporary soldiers in the Agniveer scheme, the rich, particularly the majority community, might get commissioned as officers.
Well, it's preposterous as it may sound. Not just veterans, but many within the armed forces have spoken out. They've slammed the remark of Rahul Gandhi, dubbing it incendiary. In fact, former Indian Air Force Chief Air Marshal RKS Bhaduria would be joining us in a short while from now. But a quick check of what really has happened. A timeline to this entire controversy. After the Agniveer scheme was brought in by the government, the opposition party said that this was brought in a hasty manner without any debate in the parliament. And an attempt has been made by the government to perhaps divide it into 2. One which is for the poor and the other which is for the rich. Here too, there is a classification that has been done by the government. In fact, the government has responded to this many a times. First, listen in to that remark that was made by Rahul Gandhi.
नरेंद्र मोदी ने 2 तरीके के जवान बना दिए. एक जो गरीबों का बेटा होगा, दलितों का, आदिवासियों का, पिछड़ों का, गरीब जनरल कास्ट परिवारों का बेटा होगा, माइनॉरिटी का बेटा होगा. और दूसरा जो अमीर घर का बेटा होगा. जो गरीब घर का बेटा है उसे उन्होंने एक नया नाम दिया है, अग्निवीर। और उससे ये कह रहे हैं कि देखो, अगर तुम शहीद होगे तो तुम्हें शहीद का दर्जा नहीं मिलने वाला है। क्यों? क्योंकि तुम अग्निवीर हो और तुम्हारा परिवार गरीब है। तुम्हें पेंशन भी नहीं मिलेगी, तुम्हें कैंटीन की सुविधा भी नहीं मिलेगी। अगर तुम शहीद हुए, तुम्हारी परिवार की, हिंदुस्तान की सरकार तुम्हारे परिवार की रक्षा नहीं करेगी। मगर अगर आप अग्निवीर नहीं हो, अगर आप सीनियर अफसर हो, या 4 में से आप एक हो, कैसे चुना जाएगा आप सबको मालूम है? मालूम है ना कैसे चुना जाएगा? हाँ, तो आपको पेंशन मिलेगी, शहीद का दर्जा मिलेगा, मेडल मिलेंगे, कैंटीन मिलेगी, और सरकार अंतिम क्षण तक आपके और आपके परिवार की रक्षा करेगी। मतलब सेना के अंदर इन लोगों ने 2 हिंदुस्तान, 2 तरीके के शहीद बना दिए। अभी हम ये मोदी ने क्यों किया? सबसे पहले आपको बताना चाहता हूं, हिंदुस्तान की सेना अग्निवीर के खिलाफ है।
All right, that was the comment of Rahul Gandhi, which has got the grouse of the veterans. And in fact, Air Marshal retired R.K.S. Bhadoria is joining us. He's live with us. Very good evening to you, sir. On the first instance, let me ask you this very plain question about facts. Isn't Rahul Gandhi getting his facts wrong? Because as I understand it, officially, there is no designation of martyrs insofar as Indian armed forces, including the Air Force, they are concerned. Marshal Bhadoria, yes.
Absolutely. I think not only the facts are wrong, these comments are absolutely outrageous. Absolutely. झूठ फरेब की राजनीति and absolutely गुमराह करने की कोशिश है. As far as शहीद का question that you asked, there is nothing like शहीद का दर्जा क्या? कोई ऐसे शहीद होता है, उसको शहीद का दर्जा दिया जाता है. अग्निवीर की जो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस हैं, उनको एमोल्यूमेंट्स उस तरफ से दिए जाएंगे, एंड जो दूसरे हैं उनको उधर से. एंड ये जो पूरा जो नैरेटिव किया है कि ये गरीब का बेटा और अमीर का बेटा एंड ये अग्निवीर बनेंगे एंड बाकी ऑफिसर्स बनेंगे, ये तो बिल्कुल ही फैक्चुअली रॉन्ग है, एब्सोल्युटली डिविसिव है. सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस में बिल्कुल मेरिट बेस होता है, कोई रिलीजन नहीं है और कोई भी रिजर्वेशन नहीं है. फॉर अग्निवीर जैसे 10th 12th पास के क्वालिफिकेशन है, उसके बाद मेरिट बेस्ड सिलेक्शन है. एंड सिमिलरली ऑफिसर्स में, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं शॉर्ट सर्विस कमीशन का आपको टर्म्स बताऊं, तो वो उसमें भी पेंशन नहीं होती है. उसका टेन्योर 10 years एक्सटेंडेबल टू 14 होता है. उसमें भी सिमिलर कंडीशंस होती हैं एंड वो भी मेरिट बेस्ड होता है. उसमें सिर्फ अमीर नहीं आते, सब तरह के आते हैं. एंड आपने कई बार देखा होगा सिलेक्शंस के बाद में कि किस बैकग्राउंड से बच्चे आए हैं जो या तो एनडीए में सिलेक्ट हुए हैं या ऑफिसर्स ट्रेनिंग के सिलेक्ट हुए हैं, पास आउट हुए हैं. देयर हैव बीन सो मेनी केसेस. तो ये कंप्लीट नैरेटिव कि माइनॉरिटीज का एंड गरीब के बच्चे अग्निवीर में जा रहे हैं खाली एंड बाकियों के सब ऑफिसर बन रहे हैं, डिफरेंट क्लासेस हो गई हैं, बिल्कुल गलत, बिल्कुल गुमराह करने वाला, एंड इज समथिंग दैट मस्ट बी thoroughly ignored.
Marshal Bhadoria, the other argument that has been made is this, that immediately after retirement, you're basically rendering the youth completely jobless. And that is the reason why some within the defense fraternity have also argued that there are some aspects of it which haven't been taken into consideration while framing this entire scheme.
While framing the scheme, all these aspects were discussed and taken into consideration. You must remember that this is a scheme that is that has come out, looking at our future requirement, our structuring for the future, and how we are going to handle the armed forces intake for the future. Okay, this is how all the advanced forces in the world have moved. To say that they will not have a permanent job, this is a different kind of intake. It's a 4-year intake, and 25% will be retained, and that will again be merit-based. There is no question of wo kaise select hoga aapko pata hai. Absolutely not. Defense services don't work like that. Okay, and it will be merit-based. The conditions are that people who do not get selected in that 25% for permanent, they would be supported by the Defense Ministry and the government for some kind of reservations which are already out, for example, in CAPF and many of the government services and state services where this is possible. And the rest will go into society or do their own business or go into other jobs based on the skills that they have learned and based on the training that they have done. The kind of discipline that they will learn, the kind of job that they will perform with the defense services, it is a huge plus in their character building and in their capability when they go to the civil field. And they will go into the society and take these traits with them.
Right.
That will only improve the society.
Right. Air Marshal Bhadoria, then in that case, let me come back to the comment made by Rahul Gandhi. Does it show ignorance or is it motivated to create the divide, according to you?
It is just, what can I say? It is absolute bunch of lies, to put it very plainly, because it is absolutely not based on facts. And when it comes in the election time, it is just for the purpose of, misleading the people and garnering some votes. I can't think of any other reason. And people should not get swayed by this kind of logic. ये तो absolutely झूठ फरेब के राजनीतिक kind of statements हैं.
Air Marshal, what has also been argued is that there is a divide that is being created. And they are basing this by simply saying that when you're bringing in the recruitment, you are dividing into multiple classes. Is that what is eventually happening? Because look at who is joining the Agniveer scheme.
It is not happening at all. These are just divisive statements and statements based on which are not based on facts. जो लोग सिलेक्शन के लिए आ रहे हैं वो क्रॉस सेक्शन सेम है जो पहले सोल्जर्स सिलेक्शन के लिए आते थे, पहले एयर वॉरियर सिलेक्शन के लिए आते थे या नेवी के सिलेक्शंस के लिए आते थे, वो क्रॉस सेक्शन सेम है. If you think that there is a dip in the number of people coming for selection, it is absolutely wrong.
One more question.
The qualifications are similar, the cross section is same, and people are getting selected based on merit. There is no reservation at all. There is no religion-based any selection. These things are not even asked.
Right.
So it must be clearly understood that it is so for Agniveer. I must also point out that this issue that Amir ke bete aate hain and wo officers bante hain. In officers, there is a short service commission and there is a permanent commission. Even for short service commission, the terms are similar.
Yes.
And the period of engagement is longer. You
Yes.
must understand that. It is 10 to 14 years and they go without pension. Even after 14 years, they go without pension.
Absolutely.
Here, in 4 years, 25% are retained. In that case, at 14 years, just about an average of 10% are retained into permanent. So there is nothing like, for the Agniveers, it's a specially created thing for the poor or for the people from minorities or OBC, SC, ST. It is absolutely wrong. These kind of statements involving the army and defense services for this kind of divisive statements is absolutely horrendous and outrageous.
Absolutely. Air Marshal Bhadoria, before we let you go, last question. Given the fact now comes out that based on the facts that this comment is absolutely divisive and horrendous, as you say, what could be the consequence of this kind of comment on the young Agniveers who have already joined and are serving in the 3 wings of the armed forces, And what should be done so that this kind of propaganda stops at the earliest and playing with the morale of the armed forces?
No, I give Agniveers a lot of maturity. I think they know what they are doing, what they have got into, and I don't see any impact on them. I think they will see the truth and they know the facts. So I'm not worried about that. I'm only worried about people who are not in the know or not have not looked at the scheme carefully. And in election time, they get swayed by these kind of misinformation and illogical statements, and may get swayed to vote for them. They are the people who should understand that these are absolutely wrong, and it is not based on facts at all.
All right, Shravan. All right, thank you so much, Air Marshal Bhadoria, for joining us with that perspective and, of course, expressing anger, dismay, and calling the comments made by Rahul Gandhi divisive and horrendous. Moving on, and this is a story we'll keep tracking. The BJP has, in fact, gone to the Election Commission and complained. Moving on, Shravan.
Well, in fact, Republic is tracking Unit Minister Piyush Goyal's campaign trail in Mumbai North, where he is contesting from there for the first time. He is currently a member of the Parliament for Rajya Sabha representing Maharashtra and serves as the leader of the House in the Rajya Sabha.
Piyush Goyal, of course, politician in his own right, chartered accountant who serves in the cabinet and holds important portfolios in the Modi government. He oversees, for example, the Ministry of Textiles, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and of course, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Take a look at this campaign trail of how Piyush Goyal is faring in Mumbai North.
We are looking at the former candidates, Gopal Shetty and Ram Nayak as well, who are greeting Piyush Goyal, the current candidate. And he himself, in fact, is going to be boarding the Rath as we speak. And then, of course, taking part in that road show as well. वर्कर्स कहते हैं कि जीत निश्चित है, मार्जिन का खेल है इस बार।
नहीं, मार्जिन भी अच्छा आएगा, गत बार के जैसे ही या तो उससे भी अच्छा मार्जिन आएगा, क्योंकि उससे बहुत सारे कारण हैं कि हमारी पार्टी पूरी एक साथ में इंटैक्ट है और हमारे अलायंस के पार्टनर इस समय बढ़ गए हैं।
We also have Piyush Goyal as well, preparing and starting his roadshow by taking and carrying out rituals at the temple, and then will be boarded on to the Rath, where he will be along with the former candidates Ram Nayak and Gopal Shetty, along with the MLAs as well who are going to be present here, and the state leadership that has been making all of the arrangements possible on the ground. And once again, the confidence that we get to see of the BJP leadership and of the BJP workers on the ground, where each and every booth level worker as well claims that they are going to be winning. That is very much sure, but it is about how much margin that they are able to get. Joining us right now is the candidate himself, Piyush Goyal. As we are looking at him, he's just requested a second from us because he is meeting with all of the workers and the cadre here who's present here in Kandivali, where he is carrying out the road show. And in fact, since morning, we have seen these images very much ubiquitous as and when we are looking at Piyush Goyal's entire campaign. We will speak to the man himself and understand how and what essentially is going on in his head as well. How do you look at this election as a Mumbaikar? What is it that you want to add or leave behind in your legacy?
I think this election is about the country. This is Prime Minister Modi's report card of 10 years that is being appreciated by the people. He has earned the goodwill and the trust of 140 crore Indians, and clearly this outpouring of love, affection and blessings are for Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
So there is this debate as well that whether it is the Modi factor or is it the Piyush Goyal factor.
It is 100% Modi factor.
All the candidates are saying the same exact thing, that this is the Modi factor that is...
I couldn't have got 5% of the adulation and love and affection that I am witnessing across the constituency.
So you've also held very important portfolios in the union ministership. You've looked at industries, textiles and all of that. So, and we've also seen how Adani, Ambani have been at the center of the entire political discourse as well of the Congress. The Prime Minister calling the Congress out as well. Your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it clearly demonstrates that the Congress is compromised, easy to compromise, and they have a lot to answer for having trying to run down Indian growth, Indian economy, Indian job creators. The Congress is clearly in the dock today.
What do you think of the constituency change of Rahul Gandhi as well? When we look at these legacy seats like Rai Bareli and Amethi, they have abandoned those.
Well, I think if Rahul Gandhi really wants to come to Parliament, he should have filed his nomination from 4-5 seats at least across the country. Maybe somewhere luck, there's a movie Luck by Chance. Maybe by chance he would have lucked out in any one. Today I don't even see him coming to Parliament.
So what are some of the issues though that you think that this term of the Modi government have also brought to the forefront? Say for example, the Ram Temple has been one of the biggest things, and the Congress has politicized that as well. They had boycotted going to the Pran Pratishtha. What are some of those issues? How do you look at them?
Prime Minister Modi is a multi-dimensional person. When he talks of the country, he talks of economic prosperity, he talks of our tradition, rich culture, our spirituality, our history. He talks about shedding the colonial mindset. He talks about the unity and integrity of the country. He talks about bringing together all sections of society. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. And that is the unique difference which attracts crores of people to Prime Minister Modi. He has demonstrated by action that without discrimination, government can perform and take welfare to the last man at the bottom of the pyramid. And I think that is what the people of India appreciate. A corruption-free life dedicated to the service of the nation. Over 50 years, not one blemish on his character.